And as you can see from the standings, the Bronx Knights are in second place. They're 15-12, 3 games behind the Seattle Mariners in the division. And we are about to begin a 3-game set against the Mariners. So this is a big 3-game set. So let's get this show on the road as quickly as possible. Please like and subscribe. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Calendar. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, last 2 days of the month of April. Few organizations games. Play game. Okay. Play full game. Home team against the Mariners at Classic Yankee Stadium. It's raining. Let's see. Let's put the backup catcher in. And let's rock and roll. Please like and subscribe. The main thing that we do on this YouTube channel is to play Dungeons and Dragons on a weekly basis. Monday nights, usually at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But every once in a while, I like to play some baseball. So thank you for joining me for Bronx Knights Baseball. It's a created franchise on MLB 20, the show, a video game on the PlayStation 4 system. Here we go. And on a rainy afternoon here in New York, it's the Seattle Mariners division leaders visiting the Bronx Knights. And on the mound for the Bronx Knights is Dinelson Linne, making his 3rd start of the season. His record for the season is 0-2 with a 4.82 earned run average. He has not pitched well so far. Hopefully we can get him on the right track of this game. Leading off for the Seattle Mariners is Shane Victorino, hitting .294 and in the midst of a 10-game hitting streak.
Victorino.
Let's get this show on the road. And he pulls it. Oh! Diving stop by Ramos. And he throws it into the outfield. What was that? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Talk about a brain fart. So it's a single and an E4 on Ramos. What was he thinking?
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Right. There's a runner on second and nobody out. Fernando Tatis sitting .330 on the season. And he takes ball 1. Bronx Knights, as you can see, are 15-12, 3 games over 500. That's good for second place in the American League West. That's Benny LoCicero in right field, stretching his arm out. And it's a hard... Oh, he got it stuck in his hand. And everybody's safe. Threw the motion in order to keep the runner from advancing from second to third, and then it got stuck in his hand. So it's first and second and nobody out, with Freddie Freeman up at the plate. Swing and a miss, 97 on the radar gun. Freddie Freeman in his last 8 games is 8 for 26. It's a 308 clip. And the breaking ball is low for ball 1. Home plate umpire is Clyde Washington, probably fictional, like this franchise. And the 98-mile-an-hour fastball is fouled off for strike 2. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, and he hits it high and deep towards that short porch in right field, and it's a 3-run jack for Freddie Freeman, his 3rd home run of the season. And the division-leading Seattle Mariners very quickly take a 3-0 lead on the Bronx Knights. Oh, God. Here's the replay. Oh. And he just deposits it in that short porch. Oh, got some coming back together here. Nelson Cruz sitting .281 with 7 homers and 34 runs batted in on the season. It's an impressive number. And the fastball pours in there for a strike. Still nobody out in the first inning. Swing and a miss at the curveball. Count is quickly 0-2. Oh, and he hits it high and deep. And he's going back. It's off the wall. And he walks into second base with the double. My goodness. Seventh double of the season for Nelson Cruz. Hits it off the base of the left field wall. Lukelich can't get back there to make the catch. Gets it on a bounce. Next up for the Mariners is Andrew Benintendi, 276, 3 homers, 21 runs batted in. And he swings and misses at the fastball, strike one. Oh boy, I've lost the meter already. Curveball inside, ball one. Count is even at 1-1. He fouls off the fastball. Count goes 1-2. And he grounds it to the shortstop, Matt Saps, who throws to first. Finally, the first out of the first inning is recorded. And the starting lineup for the Seattle Mariners, you've seen half of them already. Shane Victorino leading off, Fernando Tatis Jr. playing shortstop, Freddie Freeman at first, Nelson Cruz in right, Andrew Benintendi in left, Gary Carter, the legendary Gary Carter, behind the plate. Drew Mendoza is the designated hitter. And speaking of Gary Carter, he steps up to the plate, hitting .318. And he hits a hard line drive, which is caught running catch by Max Lukelich for the second out of the inning. That was almost in the gap. So there's 2 outs with a runner at second. Here's the replay.
Mendoza.
And with 2 outs, Drew Mendoza, the rookie of the year last season, hitting .248, steps up. And he swings and misses the fastball for strike one. And he hits it foul. Count is 0-2. He grounds it weakly to the second baseman Ramos, who fields, fires out. So the side is retired, but not before Freddie Freeman gives the Mariners an early 3-0 lead with this 3-run homer. Ugh. Here we go. Pitching for the Mariners is Eduardo Rodriguez, making his 6th start of the season. He's 1-2 with a 4.23 earned run average. And leading off for the Bronx Knights is Max Lukelich. He's hitting .346 on the season. No homers, 2 runs batted in. Switch hitter batting from the right side against the lefty. And he backs off, pitches ball one. Seattle Mariners are in first place in the American League West, 19-10. And he hits a hard line drive, but it reaches the seats for foul. Count evens at 1-1. Pitch is outside, 2-1. And he hits a deep fly ball to center, but playable. Shane Victorino makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Starting lineup for the Bronx Knights, Max Lukelich is in left, Don Mattingly is at first, Chris Ramos is at second, Michael Rourke patrols center, Jacob Salazar is the designated hitter today, Matt Termini is at third, Benny LoCicero is in right, Matthew Saps is the shortstop, and the backup Roberto Perez is the catcher. Don Mattingly is hitting .310 on the season, steps up to the plate, and he fouls off a high fastball for strike one. He has 6 homers and 27 runs batted in. Nice total for the first month of the season. Oh, he calls it a high strike. Count is 0-2. And he swings and misses at the pitch. Thrown down to first to complete the play. Strike him out, throw him out. And there are 2 outs in the first. Stepping up is Chris Ramos, hitting .357 with 8 homers and 24 runs batted in. Switch hitter batting from the right side, takes ball one.
1-0.
He has been hot over his last handful of games. And it's a line drive to the first baseman, Freeman. He makes the catch for the final out of the inning. And after one innings complete, it's Seattle 3, Bronx Knights nothing. Ugh. Kavan Biggio, hitting .235, steps up to the plate in the second. He has 2 homers and 11 runs batted in. And he fouls off the fastball, strike one. Curveball's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss at the 2-seamer. And he fouls off the fastball. 98 on the radar gun. He brought the heat. And he grounds it up the middle. Ramos fields, fires, not in time. He had to field it all the way on the opposite side of second base. Scorer's decision is this a base hit.
The third
It was
baseman.
a long throw from second baseman.
Rojas.
So Josh Rojas hitting .400 with 7 homers and 14 runs batted in. He is on a 6-game hitting streak. The third baseman is 11 for his last 22. My goodness, it's pretty scary. Oh my goodness! He takes the first pitch out for a 2-run home run, and it is 5-0 Seattle. His 8th homer of the season. Oof. I think it's time to get somebody warmed up in the bullpen. Oh boy, the crowd is silenced. Oh. And he just served it. All right, manager. Bullpen.
The center fielder, number 8.
Don't really have anybody that can go long. All up Bumgarner. Strike one.
No ball. 1 strike.
And he fouls off the breaking ball for strike 2. He grounds it. Oh, it's just past Termini at third base. Played a little cafe au lait over there at third base. The team is does not look ready. Error
Now
E5.
back.
She
Shortstop.
should have came up with that ball.
Fernando Tatis
Let's watch the replay.
Jr.
My goodness. Yeah, that's just... So, let's do a mound visit. Oh boy, this is going to be one of those games, I have a feeling. One of those games. And he pops it up in the infield. Shane Victorino. Or is it, it's not Shane Victorino, it's Fernando Tatis Jr. popped it up.
The first
Defense for the Bronx Knights from left to right. In the outfield is Lukulich, O'Rourke, and LoCicero. And in the infield, Termini, Saps, Chris Ramos, Don Mattingly, and the backup Roberto Perez behind the plate. Freddie Freeman is up. He's 1 for 1 with the 3-run home run.
Hey!
Oh my goodness. High strike. I'll take it, but oof. Count is quickly 0-2. And he fouls off the slider. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes. There's a runner at first with 1 out in the top of the second. Seattle already has swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 outs in the second. They already have a 5-0 lead.
Now
The only
back.
bright side we can, well, Nelson Cruz is up. We have a double in the first is 1 for 1. The only bright side you can glean from this ball one. This deficit is that the last game I played, we were playing the, I don't remember what the name of the team was. I think it was the Texas Rangers.
Ball 2.
Inside ball 2. And I got down to a 5-0 deficit, ended up winning 15-10. So,
Ball 3.
pitch is outside ball 3. Andrew Benintendi is on deck. And it's 3-1. And he hits it high and deep, but thankfully he hit it foul. Count goes full, 3-2. The runner at first will be off on the pitch. He fouls it back. Count remains full. And he pulls it foul down the third baseline into the seats.
Take your base.
And he takes the curveball outside for ball 4. And now there are runners at first and second with 2 outs in the second
Up
inning.
next for Seattle, the left fielder.
Andrew Benintendi, who grounded out in the first, is 0 for 1, steps up to the plate with a runner in scoring position. And he takes strike 1. Benintendi is 13 for his last 40. It's a 325 clip. Swing and a miss at the curveball, strike 1. No, check that. 2 strikes. Count is 0-2. And a line drive, base hit to the right field. LoCicero comes up firing, holds it to a bases loaded situation.
The catcher, number 8, Gary.
And Benintendi extends his hitting streak to 12 games. Here's the replay. Oh boy. Bases are loaded. I'm already down by 5 runs. All right. Hall of Famer catcher Gary Carter, who lined out in the first, is 0 for 1. Is up at the plate. The bases loaded. Manager, bullpen, Bumgarner, put him in the game.
Your attention.
Madison Bumgarner.
Now,
In 2024, he's no longer a starter. Now he's a reliever. This is his 6th appearance. He's 1-1 with a 2.79 earned run average. And he may get the next start because Mattingly fields it, steps on the bag, 1 pitch, and they're out of it. They leave the bases loaded, but not before Josh Rojas hits a 2-run homer to give the Seattle Mariners a 5-0 lead. Ooh, look at that monstrous upper deck. So, in his last 10 games, Mike O'Rourke
for the 9,
is hitting
the
.391.
center fielder.
Overall, he's hitting .363 with 5 homers and 19 runs batted, and he steps up to the plate in the bottom of the second. And he hits a shallow fly ball to right field on the first pitch, and there's 1 out. The defense for the Seattle Mariners from left to right is in the outfield Benintendi, Victorino, and Cruz, and in the infield Josh Rojas, Tatis Jr., Biggio, Freeman, and Gary Carter behind the plate. Today's designated hitter, Jacob Salazar, steps up. He's hitting .337. He grounds it to the third baseman who fields, throws it across the diamond. 2 pitches, 2 outs in the second.
Batting 5th.
Matt Termini hitting .323 with 4 homers and 17 runs batted in, steps up to the plate. And he hits it high and deep, but playable by the center fielder. 3 pitches, 3 outs, 1-2-3 inning. And at the end of 2 innings of play, Seattle leads 5-0. Gotta win this game. Leading off, Drew Mendoza. He's 0 for 1 against reliever Madison Bumgarner,
Mendoza.
who hits it down the line but foul. Strike 1. Strike 2. And he hits it the other way deep, but Lukulich, it's playable. He races back to the warning track to make the catch for the first out of the inning. A lot of real estate.
The batter, number 13. Second base.
Kavan Biggio had a single and a run scored. He's 1 for 1. He steps up against Bumgarner. And he hits it high and deep. Will it stay fair? Just foul. Strike one, long strike. And he hits a flare out to center field, drops in for a base hit. And with 1 out in the 3rd inning, the Mariners have a runner in at first.
Up next for Seattle, the third baseman,
Josh Rojas is 1 for 1 with a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. He steps in against the left-hander. Strike one. And they're not, they steal the bag. 5-run lead, they take off on the first pitch. Doesn't seem very sportsmanlike. Strike two. His last 3 games, Josh Rojas has 7 runs batted in. Just high, ball 1. And he fouls off the cut fastball. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he fouls off the changeup. Swing and a miss at the curveball for out number 2. Rojas is set down.
the center
On
fielder,
strikes.
number 8, Shane Victorino.
And with 2 outs, Shane Victorino steps up. He has a single, and a run scored. He's 1 for 2 today. And it's a line drive base hit to center field. And we now have safe at second. We now have a 6-0 lead for the Seattle Mariners on the RBI single. He takes second on the throw home, or without a double, who knows. But this is not a game to be proud of. High and deep, and it drops over the head of O'Rourke in center. It's an RBI double, and it's 7-0 Seattle. This is going to be one of those games, guys. RBI double is 6th on the season.
Freddie Freeman.
Oof. Smashes it to center. He comes up throwing. Here's the throw to the plate. He's in. It's not in time. And it's an RBI single. Seattle leads 8-0.
Now batting.
Can't let this continue.
Nelson.
Let's go middle. Warm up. Let's go mound visit. Nelson Cruz is stepping up. He had a double in the first. He's 1 for 1. And they're basically just stalling for time. This is his last batter. Strike one. And he hits a line drive, but right at Lukulich in left for the final out of the 3rd. But not before they pad the lead with 3 more runs. 2.5 innings of play. It's Seattle 8, Bronx nothing. Leading off, hold on a second. Manager,
For the Bronx,
Jesse Biddle is going to go in the game.
number 38.
Benny LoCicero is up, hitting .278. Swings and misses the cut fastball. Benny's got a modest 4-game hitting streak. He leads the team in runs batted in. Changeup drops over the outside corner for strike 2. And he fouls it off into the seats. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes. And he's late on the 2-seamer. Fouls the ball. Pitch is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Change up outside. Count evens at 2-2. Full count. He works it full. Here's the payoff pitch. And he swings and misses at the curveball for strike 3. So, Bronx Knights' upcoming schedule, they've got a 3-game set. This is the first of 3 against the Mariners. Then an off day. Then they're at the other Yankee Stadium, the new Yankee Stadium, to play the Yankees for 3 games. And then they started a set against the Detroit Tigers. Matthew Saps is hitting .203 with 3 homers and 9 runs batted in. He steps up against the lefty, Eduardo Rodriguez, who right now is throws high, ball 1. Ball 2.
No strike.
And he fouls off the changeup. Count is 2-1. And he hits a hard line drive, which is run down by Benintendi for the 2nd out of the 3rd. Hit it right on the nose, but right at Andrew Benintendi in left field.
Perez.
Roberto Perez, who's hitting .333 with 3 runs batted in. He's giving Anthony Mello a day off behind the plate.
That's the ball.
Takes ball 1. Ball 2. And he fouls off the 2-0 pitch. Count is 21. Count goes even, 2-2. Right on the outside corner. And he hits it hard, line drive into the gap, and it drops in, 1 bounce to the wall. Roberto Perez races into second for a 2-out double. Looked like the center fielder was going to catch it, but then it just took off. Max Lukovic, who had a fly out in first, is 0-for-1, steps up to the plate. And he drives it. Oh, jump throw. Nice play by the 3rd baseman. And the inning is complete. After 3 innings of play, Seattle has an 8-run lead. Yeah.
Your attention, please.
Jesse Biddle. He's 1-1 record, 3.24 earned run average. He has had 3 save opportunities. He's converted 2 of them. And leading off is Andrew Benintendi, who had a single in the 2nd inning. He's 1-for-2.
Benintendi.
And he hits it the other way and drops it in there for a double on the first pitch. My God, it's one of those games. His 7th of the season.
The catcher, number 8.
Let's look at the replay. He's actually shading him the other way. There's nobody within 5 miles of that ball. Gary Carter's up. And he fouls off the fastball. Strike 1. And he grounds it to Mattingly. He takes it himself. The runner advances to 3rd with 1 out.
Now batting, designated hitter.
Drew Mendoza, he flied out and grounded out. It's 0-for-2. He has a runner at 3rd in less than 2 outs. And he takes a high strike, strike 1. Swings over the top of the changeup. Check that curveball, strike 2. And he swings and misses at the slider. Biddle gets the strikeout. Now there are 2
The
outs.
batter, number 13, second base, Kevin Biggio.
Kevin Biggio steps in. He's got 2 singles today. He's 2 for 2. Takes strike 1 on the inside corner. Scored twice. Seems like everyone in the lineup has scored twice. And he fouls the fastball back. Count is quickly 0-2. He's got 8 runs batted in his last 9 games. And the slider just misses the outside corner. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3 looking. And the side is retired. So after 3.5 innings of play, the score remains Seattle Mariners 8, Bronx Knights nothing. Don Mattingly steps up to the plate. He struck out in the first.
For the ninth,
He leads off in the bottom of the 4th for the Knights.
Mattingly.
Did he check it? Yes, he did. Ball 1.
At the ball.
Pitch is outside, ball 2. And he drops it in the other way, flares it into the outfield for a base hit. And he is now 1 for 2 on the game. Just off the end of the bat, fooled him, just found a hole, blooped it into left field for a base hit. Chris Ramos steps up. He lined out in the first, is 0 for 1. And it's a line drive, it's a base hit. And he makes a big turn at first. The runner at first makes it all the way to third. So we have first and third and nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th after this single by Chris Ramos. Next up is Michael O'Rourke, who flew out in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. And the pitch is low. Gotta start somewhere. Swing and a miss, cut fastball. Michael O'Rourke has 11 doubles on the season. It's good for a 5th in the American League. And he drops in the changeup on the outside corner for strike 2. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Inside, almost hits him. 2-seamer. Count evens at 2-2. Fastball outside, count goes full, 3-2. Runners at first and third. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and nobody out. And he just gets a piece of the 2-seamer to stay alive. And he drives it to the second. 1, back to first. Double plays. 4-6-3 double play. The Bronx Knights score a run, but O'Rourke does not get an RBI. On the double play, they'll exchange 2 outs for a run. And the Bronx Knights now trail 8-1. Oh. Jacob Salazar, today's designated hitter, grounded out in the second, steps up to the plate. And he hits it high and deep, and it is going. It's, diving attempt. And he makes it strolling into second base with a double. Salazar's 6th double of the season.
Number 79.
And he now has a 10-game hitting streak. See the replay. Don't get too excited, Salazar. You're losing by 7 runs. Matt Termini steps up to the plate. Runner at second, 2 outs. And it's a hard ground ball to the shortstop for Fields. Throws it in the dirt, but scooped out by Freeman for the final out of the 4th. So after 4 innings complete, it's Seattle 8, Bronx 1. Josh Rojas is 1 for 2. He steps up against Biddle. takes strike one. And he checks it. Curveball is low. Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Strike 2. Swing and a miss on the curveball for strike 3. And the line for LeMay is 1 2/3 innings. He gave up 5 runs and 6 hits.
Victorino.
And that is not a great line score. Shane Victorino is 2 for 3 today. He has 2 singles, 2 runs scored, an RBI, and he steps up and fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. He leads the Mariners with 8 doubles. Swings and misses out in front of the curveball. Quickly, he's down 0-2. Strike 3 looking. And there are 2 outs. Biddle's in a groove.
Up next for Seattle.
Fernando Tatis Jr. is 1 for 3 with a double. He has scored twice. Strike 1. And he fouls off the curveball. Strike 2. And he gets a little in on his hand and skies it to center field. O'Rourke makes the catch in center for the final out of the 5th. So, it's still a 7-run lead for the Seattle Mariners. All right, it's time to get this show on the road. Benny LoCicero, the right fielder, struck out in the first. He's 0 for 1. Steps up to the plate.
Number 38.
And he fouls off the fastball for strike 1. He has 7 runs batted in the last 3 games. Down and in, ball 1. I gotta make some changes. Bullpen. Inside, ball 2. I think LeMay needs to go to the bullpen.
That's the ball.
Ball 3, count is 3-1.
I got 3-1. 3 balls,
I think
1
take
strike.
Telly and put him in the starting lineup, starting rotation. And he fouls the changeup straight back to the screen. The count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And he grounds it towards the hole. Second baseman Fields fires. Got him the first out of the 5th.
Now batting. Number 31.
Matt Saps lined out in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1 today. Steps up against Eduardo Rodriguez, who's pitched swing and a miss. Strike 1. Pitched well. He's pitched into the 5th. He's only given up a run. And that run was on a double play. And he fouls off the changeup. Count is 0-2. Checks it. Count is 1-2.
Strike. 2-2.
Count evens at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out in the 5th. And he fouls it back. Count remains 2-2. And he grounds it foul. Stays alive. And it's a hard ground ball up the middle for a base hit. His first of the ball game. And with 1 out in the 5th, Matthew Saps hits it right back through the box for a single to center.
Perez.
Roberto Perez, the catcher, steps up to the plate. He checks his swing. It's a ball. He's 4 for 10 for the season in limited time. And he skies it to center field. Shane Victorino makes the catch. For the second out of the inning, the runner scoots back to first base.
Now batting.
So with 2 outs in the 5th, Max Lukelich is 0 for 2. He flied out and grounded out. He steps up there. It's 1 out from being an official game. And he fouls off the cutter for strike 1. Max has 7 steals on the season, which is tied for second place in the American League. And he pulls the cutter down the left field line, and there are 2 strikes. He checks it outside, ball 1. And he grounds it weakly to the third baseman and throws to second for the force, and the side is retired. It's an official game. After 5 innings of play, it's Seattle 8, Bronx 1. I'm going to have to put on my hitting shoes. So, Freddie Freeman has a homer, a single, and he's got 4 runs batted in. He's 2 for 3, and he steps up to the plate in the top of the 6th. And he pops it way up in the infield. First pitch, Roberto Perez makes the catch just in front of home plate for the first out.
Now batting. Right fielder.
Nelson Cruz is 1 for 2. He steps up. And the curveball is strike 1. He fouls off the fastball for strike 2. And he skies it to medium center field. LoCicero takes charge and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Biddle has
now
come in and wait. What's happening?
Andrew Benintendi.
The rain delay is expected to last about 45 minutes, which will leave the current pitcher or warm up a fresh arm. Let's keep the current pitcher. Rain delay in video game. Oh God, everything's going wrong. Andrew Benintendi has a double and a single. And he fields from his knees. Termini throws him out for the final out of the inning. What a play by Termini. Third baseman, nice. Let's see that replay. Now, after 6 innings, 5.5 innings, it's 8-1 Seattle. Nice play. So, John Mattingly has a single and a run scored. He's 1 for 2 today.
The first baseman, John Mattingly.
And the fastball is outside corner for strike 1. Oh, and he hits it high and deep. Oh, and caught at the wall. Oh, for the first out. Nelson Cruz makes the catch. Thought it had a chance. Chris Ramos, single in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. Steps up on the right side and takes ball 1. And it's a line drive, but right at the center field of Victorino, who makes the catch for the second out.
Now batting, center fielder.
As you can see, the Mariners lead the American League in earned run average, part of the reason why they're in first place. Mike O'Rourke is 0 for 2, steps up, 2 outs in the 6th inning. And it's just off the plate for ball 1. And he grounds it to the first baseman, Freeman, who takes it himself to the bag for the final out of the 6th. Oh, not much is changing here, ladies and gentlemen. 6 innings complete. It's 8-1 Seattle. Oof. Gary Carter's 0 for 3. Steps up to the plate.
Number 8.
Biddle is still out there. And throws strike 1. Maybe Jesse Biddle should start again. Swings and misses the curveball out in front. Quickly the count is no balls, 2 strikes. He fouls off the fastball, strike one. And he hits it back to the pitcher and fields it. He throws to first for the first out. Nice play. Good reaction by the pitcher.
Up next for Seattle, the designated hitter,
Drew Mendoza. He's 0 for 3. Steps up.
Mendoza.
Lefty versus lefty. And the slider's in there for strike one. And he's ahead on the two-seamer. Pulls it foul. Count is quickly 0-2. And he hits a line drive the other way into the gap. Lukulich cuts it off. He makes a big turn at first. He gets it back in second, just in time to keep him from stretching it to a double. But nice piece of hitting by Drew Mendoza, who just serves it the other way for a single here in the seventh. Nice coverage by Max Lukulich. So next up is Cavan Biggio, who has 2 singles today. He's 2 for 3. There's 1 out in the seventh. And the slider is outside for ball 1.
1-0.
Slider is outside and low, ball 2. And he's saved. The pitcher is covering first base. He didn't get over in time. Mattingly dove. Second baseman to the pitcher covering. He didn't make it over there in time. So, with 1 out in the seventh, it's first and second. With Josh Rojas, 1 for 3. I think we need to warm up somebody in the bullpen. Maybe Caleb Smith. And then let's do a mound visit. Got a lot of confidence, but not a lot of energy. Again, Josh Rojas is up with first and second with 1 out in the seventh. They already have a 7-run lead. Let's see what happens. This is his last batter no matter what. And he flares it out into and it is an RBI single for Biggio. It's 9-1. Sorry, Josh Rojas. Just serves it the other way. It is not our day. Shane Victorino's 2 for 4. Bullpen. Caleb Smith is putting it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Caleb Smith.
please. Now pitching.
10th appearance. He's 1-0 with a 3.86 earned run average. 6 strikeouts and just over 9 innings of work. And Victorino pulls it foul. Strike 1. First and third. 1 out. And it's a deep drive, which is playable, but enough to get the run home. And the sacrifice fly will make it 10-1, Seattle. Well, it's a 3-game set for the division, and I think Seattle is making a statement here in this opening game. They're leading by 10-1. Fernando Tatis, double. The RBI, 2 runs scored. He's 1 for 4. And he hits it into the gap and through. That is a 2-run triple. And it is 11-1. Actually, an RBI triple.
First baseman,
His 4th in the season.
Freddie
Pulls it into the gap. O'Rourke does everything he can to stop that ball from getting past him, but just couldn't get his body in front of him. Freddie Freeman's up. And he fouls off the fastball, strike 1. Strike 2. And he hits it through. An RBI single, base hit. And he makes it all the way to second base. It's 12-1. Strike one to Nelson Cruz is 1 for 3. And he hits a deep fly ball the other way, but LoCicero is there to make the catch for the final out of the 7th. Get up and stretch. It's the time for the 7th inning stretch.
For the traditional 7th inning stretch.
It's Seattle 12 and the Bronx Knights 1. Jacob Salazar has a double in the 4th. He's 1 for 2.
For the Bronx, the designated hitter, Jacob.
And he goes after the high pitch and fouls it off. Strike one. And he flares it out there for a base hit to right. Salazar is at first in the bottom of the 7th. Nobody out.
Now batting, number 79.
Nice piece of hitting. Next up is Matt Termini. Matt Termini is 0 for 2. And he checks his swing. The cutter is inside for ball 1. Termini is hitting .316 on the season. And he hits a line drive straight at the third baseman. Catches it for the first out.
Now batting,
Benny LoCicero is 0 for 2 today. Steps up. There's 1 out in the 7th. And the two-seamer is low. Ball 1. Salazar has speed, but it doesn't make sense to steal when you're down by 11 runs. He goes after the high fastball and fouls it off. Count evens at 1-1. Pitch is low, 2-1.
Three balls, 1
3
strike.
balls, 1 strike. He checked his swing. And he flares it out the other way to the left fielder who makes the catch for the second out of the 7th. No advance by Salazar at first.
now batting, number 31.
Matt Zapps is 1 for 2 with a single. Steps up there. And misses the cutter. Strike 1. Pitch is low. 1-1. And he fouls off the fastball. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rodriguez has pitched a great game. He checked it. Changeup is low. Count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. And he just gets a piece to stay alive. And it's a slow roller to the third baseman who throws across his body and gets him on a great play to end the 7th. Rojas, nice play. 7 innings complete. Seattle 12, Bronx 1. Benintendi's 2 for 4.
The left fielder, Andrew Benintendi.
And the fastball is low. So is the attendance. The attendance is low too. And he fouls off the changeup. Count is 1-1. And he grounds it weakly to Mattingly at first. He takes it to the bag himself for the first out of the 8th.
The catcher, number 8.
Gary Carter's over 4. Steps up. And the slider is high, ball 1.
1 ball, no strike.
Low, ball 2. Strike 1. Count is 2-1.
2-2.
Swing out in front of the slider. Count evens at 2-2. Caleb Smith is on the mound. Just trying to get through this inning. He grounds it weakly to Saps at short and throws for the second out of the inning.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
Drew Mendoza is 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored. It's hitting .248 on the season. Slider's in there for strike one. And it is playable. LoCicero makes the catch for the final out of the eighth. This is Bronx Knights Baseball. Thank you for tuning in. I'm RC Robbin, but this is not my best performance as the Seattle Mariners is winning 12-1.
Your attention, please. Now,
Taking over the pitching duties for the Seattle Mariners is J.B. Weldikin, making his 12th appearance. He's 1-0. And Roberto Perez is 1 for 2,
for the ninth,
stepping up in the eighth.
Roberto
See if I can get a couple of runs and make this respectable. And he swings and misses at the fastball, 96 on the radar gun. The lesson to be learned is don't play baseball when you're tired. And the fastball's in there. Count is quickly 0-2. And he's out in front of the changeup, completely fooled. Strikes out for the first out of the inning. So the line score for Eduardo Perez: pitched 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run. No, he pitched well. He kept them off stride the whole game. Max Lukulich, the left fielder, steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 3 today. And he pulls it foul for strike one. Wendell came in. It's an interesting name. Did he check it?
Here we go.
Yes, he did. He checked it. Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. And just gets a piece of the two-seamer. Count is 1-2.
No.
Change-up's just outside. Count evens at 2-2. And pulls it foul. Count remains 2-2. They were wondering why Lukulich is so small and thin. In real life, Max is 12 years old. And he skies it to right field. Easy play for Nelson Cruz in right. He makes the out for the second out of the eighth.
now batting.
Next up is Don Mattingly. He has a single, run scored. He's 1 for 3.
Mattingly
Steps up with 2 outs in the eighth. And the pitch is low, ball 1.
No, that's low.
2-0. He goes after the 2-0 pitch and skies it to medium depth right field. Cruz races over to his right, makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So it's 7.5 innings complete. No, check that. 8 innings complete. It's an 11-run lead for the Seattle Mariners. So, leading off for Seattle in the ninth, Cavan Biggio was 3 for 4 today against Caleb Smith. Here's the first pitch. And he fouls off the fastball, strike 1. This is the first game of a big 3-game set against the first and second place teams in the division. Just outside the slider, count evens at 1-1. And as you can see, the Bronx Knights have not showed up. Swing and a miss at the slider. Count is 1-2. Swing and a miss at the changeup out in front for the first out of the ninth.
Now back.
Josh Rojas has a homer, a single. He's got 3 runs batted in. He's 2 for 4 today. He's up with 1 out in the ninth. And he fouls off the fastball. 94 on the radar gun. Strike 1. And he hits it high and deep towards the short porch here in Old Yankee Stadium. But LoCicero is right in front of the warning track to make the catch for the second out of the inning. He made a bid.
The center fielder.
1-13-1. Didn't get it. Shane Victorino's 2 for 4. He steps up there. Switch hitter. He's batting from the right side against the left-hander, Smith. And grounds it weakly to Mattingly first, who scoops it, fields it himself, and ends the inning. Last licks for the Bronx Knights. Can I get some runs on the board? It's 12-1. Can I make this respectable? Let's see. All right. Let's do this. Chris Ramos, the second baseman, is 1 for 3 with a single. He's hitting .356 on the season. He steps up to the plate in the bottom of the ninth. The crowd, I guess, gets on their feet and pitches low, ball 1. I don't know if that's mock cheer. Why would they be on their feet when you're down by 11 runs? He checked it, but it's in there for a strike. Count is even at 1-1. Actually, most of the fans are probably heading to the exits. And the changeup is low. 2 balls, 1 strike. He checked it off the plate. Hitters count 3-1. Here's the pitch. And he hits a hard ground ball, but right at the second baseman. The field fires. First out of the ninth.
Now batting, center fielder.
Center fielder Michael O'Rourke is 0 for 3 today. I'm sure he'd like to get into the hit column. He's got to get on base. Not much hope for the Bronx Knights today, but it'd be nice to score a few runs. And he hits a hard ground ball through into right field for a base hit. He is on the hit column for this contest. And 1 out in the ninth. Oh, he extended his hitting streak to 14 games. Something to cheer about. 14-game hitting streak for Michael O'Rourke, who's 17 years old in real life. So, Jacob Salazar, the designated hitter, is 2 for 3 today. He's up, his switch hitter is up from the left side. And he slaps it high and deep, and it is over the head of Nelson Cruz in right. Salazar makes it to second base. It's second and third. The runner could not make it home. He wasn't sure if Nelson Cruz was going to catch it in right field. And suddenly, they're threatening with 1 out in the ninth. This runner's at second and third. Here's a replay. So Matt Termini, the third baseman, is up. He's 0 for 3 today, but he does have runners in scoring position. And it's a hard ground ball to the shortstop, and it's an RBI ground out, and the score is 12-2. They are down to their final out.
Now batting, number 38.
Benny LoCicero, team leader in runs batted in, is 0 for 3. Steps up to the plate. There is a runner at second. This is an RBI opportunity. He's been really good in those situations. And fastball's outside for ball 1.
1 ball, no strike. Ball 2.
Inside and low, ball 2. Slurve floats in there for a strike. It's 2-1. And he hits a line drive, base hit to center field. It's an RBI single for Benny LoCicero. And it's 12-3. Benny LoCicero just recorded his 30th RBI in the month of April, which leads the team.
The batter.
Can you give me a replay on that? Come on. Come on. Oh. Matt Saps is 1 for 3 with a single. We're still on our final out of the game. See how far we can take this. And the pitch is outside. Ball 1. Inside, ball 2. Wendelken seems to have lost the strike zone. We'll see if he can power his way through this last out.
No, that's a ball.
Now, ball 3, 3-0. When you're down by 9 runs, you do not swing on a 3-0 count. The red light is on. No green light.
Oh.
And it drops over for strike 1. 3-1 count is a hitter's count. Let's see what happens. And it's outside for ball 4. The last thing you need with 2 outs in the 9th are base runners. You do not walk people. You just throw it down the middle of the plate. Well, anyway, first and second, 2 outs.
Perez.
And Roberto Perez is up, backup catcher.
Your attention, please.
Pitching change for the Seattle Mariners. It's Hunter
Number
Wood.
44.
In 9 appearances this season, he's 1-1 with a 4.38 earned run average. He does have a blown save. So stepping in there, Roberto Perez. He's 1 for 3 with a double today. He has a runner in scoring position. And the cutter is high, but called a strike for strike 1. And he checked it. Count evens at 1-1. Oh, he hits it high and deep. That is off the... Is it Gonzo? That is Gonzo. A 3-run home run for Roberto Perez. His first homer of the season. And suddenly, it's a little more interesting. It's 12-6. I thought it was off the wall when it was first hit. So, it's still a 6-run game. Mariners bullpen is active.
Number 39.
The pitch is low for Max Lukelich. He's 0 for 4 today. Obviously, with a 6-run lead, they really don't have anything to worry about, but pitch is outside, ball 2. They're going to continue to throw balls. They're going to continue to take it. Ball 3. I am not swinging. Don Mattingly is on deck. I'm not going to swing. No, no, no. And it's outside corner for strike 1. Count is 3-1.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
And he swings over the top of the changeup there down to their final strike. Here's the pitch. And he hits a hard line drive down the line, but foul. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. And he fouls off the 2-seamer, stays alive. Count still full. And just fouling it off. This is the 9th pitch of the at-bat. They're down to their final strike. And he hits it foul.
Ball 4, take your base.
And he walks him on 10 pitches. Max Lukelich gets over to first. He's got an enormous amount of speed. Obviously, this is not a base stealing situation. No reason to run with the 6-run lead, 6-run deficit. Don Mattingly steps up to the plate. He has a single and a run scored. He's 1 for 4 today. He's up against a right-hander. And he fouls off the cutter, straight back to the screen for strike 1. Down and in. Cutter is low. Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. And he just fouls it. Checks his swing, pops it up to the third baseman for the final out of the game. The Mariners win 12-6. Oh, well, I scored a couple of runs to make it presentable, but in the end, it was just a massacre. First game of a 3-game set against the division-leading Seattle Mariners, and the Bronx Knights go down 12-6. Disgraziad. Blah, blah. Well, if you're still watching, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is RC Robbin. This is Shenanigans ttRPG. Please like my YouTube channel. The main purpose of this channel is to play Dungeons and Dragons. Once a week, me and my friends, we get together on Zoom, we stream to YouTube, and we play D&D. But I also like baseball, as you can see. So anyway, let's call this like a real game. So, here in the Bronx, Seattle has 12 runs, 16 hits, and no errors. The Bronx Knights, 6 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. The winning pitcher is Eduardo Rodriguez. Dinelson LeMay takes the loss. Freddie Freeman is 3 for 5 with a homer and 5 runs batted in for the player of the game. And the final, here in Bronx, New York, Seattle wins 12-6. Thank you so much for watching Bronx Knights Baseball. I hope for a better outlook next time. See you soon.